As you saw, Shannon left the other day. She made it up to New Hampshire. She's doing well, getting into her new digs. She's rented a small house with another nurse up there. They're both doing the same contract. So they're right on a lake. Looks beautiful, but very snowy up there. So we're, as you can see, I don't know if the camera picks this up, pretty muddy. We were up here the other day day before Shannon left. Tried to get this situated, but it was just too muddy. We got sticking points with some rocks here. These are veins of bedrock here, here, and I think I'm going to have another one down there where I'll have to take these boards back off and saw a little arch to go over those rocks there and reset it. So I'm going to start with doing my measurement around here because every time it rains, it could shift a little. I just want to make sure this is perfect. Start doing that. If this is all level over to here, I might let this dry out today and start putting in my rear rebar in and stuff. But first thing, I'll check for level here. All right, guys, I have my laser set up. This is, I'm using both my levels, so it's level that way, level that way. So I set my laser. Now, to make sure this is even, this board, this is the receiver that'll, when this beeps here, that means it's both sides are level. This can move up and down, but we're within the range right there because it's beeping. So, and it's actually right on the green. When the green light lights up, it's perfect. Then it has a red light below it and a red light above it. And that's a close enough range usually for level, but to be perfect, which it is right now. So based on that, we're going to go down 16 inches for my first step here and do this. So what I'm going to do is keep that where it is. I'll move this up 16 inches. That way I should, when I set it on the next board down, uh, it should be level with this then continuously because it dropped down 16 inches, which is what we want. As long as that is, if, if it doesn't beep there, then I got to clear either this will tell me whether I got to come up or down with the forms and stuff, but it should be very close. It was close. We had it all set the other day, but it has rained, so I just want to double check as I come around and get back to this muddy area, which I might not get to today. It's pretty sloppy over here, so I think I'll let the sun. It's supposed to be a pretty good week this week, so. All right, guys, I moved it 16 inches up, so we should be right on here. Hear that beep? So that means it's automatically 16 inches down. So, and 2 blocks will be 16 inches, which will make our wall nice and level and stuff. So now I'll move down to this corner. I want to make sure that's level still. All right, guys, I got the level set again, which everything was fine here. So once I got it situated, I'm all the way to this corner over here. So, and then I came back and leveled this section up to this step right there. And so I'll do this. I'm going to let this dry out. You see how muddy this is. I even hacked it out a little to let it drain this afternoon, hopefully. We're not supposed to get rain until next Saturday, Friday or Saturday. So uh, hoping this dries up in the next day or so. So Tuesday I can come back and finish just this section. So I'm going to break for lunch, and this afternoon then I'll start filling gravel and getting this rebar in there. So that's all I got. There's got to be 2 things of rebar uh, in uh, parallel, running right down the middle, and I'll get into that this afternoon. So, and then we got to tie some vertical ones in where the steps are, just to have rebar in that section when that's full of concrete and stuff. So I got to do that. And all right, guys, I have the gravel in there. Things are level. Kind of filled in the sides a little here. There's a little daylight, but once again, I told you the concrete won't pour like water or anything. It'll ooze out a little, but it'll fill itself in pretty quickly, and there won't be a lot of waste. Um, the other thing is, here's what are called rebar chairs. These come in packs. They're actually stacked right now. Let me get a couple of them out here and show you. Okay, that's what they look like right there. And if you can see, there's an indentation right there, there, and there. This is actually good for 3 rebar section, but we're only going to do 2. I'm going to use each end, and that'll evenly space this throughout. So what you do is lay these, about every 4 feet. I got one there, here, put one in the corner, and then we'll start going down this way. And I got 10-foot rebar pieces. I'll have to find a way to bend them for the corners, because you want a nice bend in those corners, to keep it going. And you don't want to end a piece in a corner and stuff. It just doesn't make it as strong. So I'll find a couple of trees somewhere where there's 2 trees growing together, something, stick it in between there and bend it. You can use your trailer hitch on the back of your pickup. We've done that before in Wyoming, where you just stick it through the receiving part of the trailer hitch, and then just put it to where you want it to bend, and give it a heave ho, and you just kind of pull on it and it'll bend. But it takes a little effort. But there's my rebar there. So I'm going to start laying that right now. Just going to wrap it up here for the day. So I got my rebar in, all this 48, and this 20 here and this 20 here, up to the steps on each one. So I'm letting that dry out. That dried out a lot today, so we should be good on Tuesday to work on that section, get the rebar in. The rebar didn't take that long. As you can see right here, I built one of my forms for my piers. So we're gonna have a beam go right across this whole way to hold the floor joists that go across here, and not make them like a bouncy floor. You need that beam in there to carry that weight halfway across and stuff. So we'll have a beam in there, put a pier here. There'll be a notch in the foundation here. There'll be a pier 16 feet, and that's evenly spaced. And then 16 feet will be the next wall, and there'll be a notch in there, and we'll put that pier in there, or the beam in there. So just got to get this all level. I just set it there. I got an orange orange dot in there. I don't know if you can see it right there. So that's center. So I'll have to get my transit back out, measure that, and let that beep. So it'll be even with this spot over here is what I'm just going to do. And it'll be level. Throw some rebar in it, make it nice and strong, and that way it'll hold all that weight and stuff. So had a good day though. So the weather was good. It was nice and cool too. Really didn't, other than taking my sweatshirt off, I got 2 layers here, and I'm fine. I haven't really broken a sweat, but got a lot done. I'm just gonna clean up and buy some more steaks at work tomorrow. Tomorrow I will. I got a list of cutting some rebar because in each of the steps it's got to go vertical too. So I need about 10-inch pieces. In this double one, I'll need I think it was 18 and a half is what I measured. So I got to put those in. Then you got to tie all the rebar in. They get tied to the little chairs that they sit on. Then they get tied together where they meet. They overlap somewhat, 6 inches to a foot, some places 2 foot. And then you tie those together so they don't, when that concrete pours in there, it doesn't let those things just weight down to the ground, and then they don't do any good. So that's what the chairs are for, is to keep them off the ground a little bit so that when that concrete goes in, it forms all around it, underneath it, and all around, and it just makes it super strong. Uh, so the concrete will be, it'll have the weight of the whole house on it and stuff. All right, guys, good morning. And another nice day. Only I got a couple hours before I got to go to work, so just coming up here. What I did last night when I came down, I brought a piece of rebar with me and cut my lengths that go in the steps. So what you have to do is have that rebar come across, and then I'll tie it there and tie it at the bottom, and it'll continue on at the lower step. So I did those. I'm gonna try to get those in real quick. These are rebar ties, by the way. I'll show you real quick here. And what they do is when the rebar is in your form and it's sitting on those chairs, you wrap this around it, and it's got these 2 curlicues that you can grab it with your hands real easy, and just like a twist tie, just twist it right up, and it holds it. So when the cement goes in there and pours in, it's such a great weight that goes in there. It doesn't destroy your rebar or push it onto the ground and stuff. Um, I'll also tie it at where the one rebar comes at the top step. I'll tie those 2 together, and then another piece of rebar that continues on in the lower step. I'll tie that together, and that'll keep this stay put in that bulkhead. So when they pour that concrete in there, that'll have rebar in that and stuff. Just keeps everything nice and strong. So that's what I'm going to do this morning. See how far we get here. All right, today's a short day, but I was able to, I made that yesterday before I quit, and now I just leveled it. It's in place. Um, I shot it with the laser, and it's actually a 1 block lower than this up here, this setup. So it'll be even with this row right here. So that's all you got to do is make sure it's level all the way around with the 2 foot level. and then make sure it's gonna uh, be even when they pile up, because they're gonna pile up cinder blocks and make uh, two cinder blocks, then two cinder blocks, then two cinder blocks, and so on, up until they get to the height of the wall and it's all even and stuff. So, and that'll be a pier for our beam. And then I got one more going right under the right there. You see that orange right there. So I'll make that tomorrow. Uh, got my rebar tied, what I have done so far. So again, tomorrow, this is just about dried out up here. So um, tomorrow will be a good day to finally get this last, 25 feet, 30 feet maybe of form nice and level, shoot it with the laser, make sure it's all set. I'll have to, there's a bunch of rock back here behind here, so I'll have to zip out some of this wood and make it fit better. Um, but that'll be again tomorrow. And I'll build this form and then the rebar in, and we should be pretty set then. Then it'll be just some fine tuning and stuff. By the way, we moved the uh, pour from Thursday to Tuesday because I'm off Tuesday and I'd like to be here. I work Thursday and I wasn't going to be able to be here some of the time, so I just as soon be here and watch them do this. That way I can get it on film too, so or on camera. But we're looking good. All right, morning guys. Back at it. Hopefully get this section done today. Been up here a good hour or so, even more, hour and a half. And what I did is, this is dried up now, pretty good. Still a little muddy, but those are the veins of rock that I'll just have to scribe this piece of board and this one for this side, and just take a pencil and just kind of make some moves, start cutting it wavy, fit it in there. And what it's got to do is create that step right here. So I have to slide them. These boards both have to slide exactly right under there. So there's a lot of cutting on that side. There's hardly going to be anything left, really. But we'll make it work. And then again on this one's really high. This is filling this whole cavity almost. So I'll see how far I get with that. And then we'll just start going down the line. I've been cleaning this all out now for a good hour and a half. Got a bunch of rocks right there. So, and then starting to get ready to tie it into here. But I can tell from this is level down there. So if you stand right here and look down there, you can see it goes downhill a little. So I got to clean this out, then join these two, and then work this. There's a couple of rocks, but this is by far the major thing. If I can get this set and level today, I'd be more than happy. And get some gravel in there and uh, the rebar and stuff. So it'd be looking good. Because then I'll just have to clean this out and level this down. But this isn't half nearly as bad as these rocks here. So, all right, back to it. All right, guys, today's a good day. One cut, one cut, and I put the level on it, and we're good. So Actually took too much off here, but that's okay. I'd rather have it that way than not. This is bedrock right here, so the concrete's just going to go over this whole section, very little. I'm not even sure. I might just put rebar up to here and then start rebar again over there. We'll see how it all works out as I get further. But I'm going to stick a stake in this and screw these two ends to the other ends and call this good. And then I'll work on this side, which I don't think it. This side is actually, it's the camera probably doesn't show it, but it's actually going. These veins of rock here are going downhill, so it's actually lower here, so it's going to be easier cut, I think, here. But yeah, I just set this board here, made sure it was level, and then took my pencil and just scribed the line here, and then over this big archway here, and then took it over to the saw, just cut it real quick, set it in, and that's what we get. So I think that's good. I'm going to screw this in right now. So okay, I got to fit this on the inside. Right now it's on the outside of this board. Make sure it fits down here. And a little bit more. I might have to take a little off the end just to get that in there. Oh, you know what it is? Right here, this rock is just hitting that wood, so I need to take just a little bit more off of here. So right there, it's just hitting that rock. And then I can bring this forward and it'll fit in perfect down there. So do that real quick. All right. Inside again. There we go. I don't know how that, I'm missing a screw on the front of this bulkhead. Put that back in where it's supposed to go. Okay. Now, it's in where it's supposed to go. I'm just for now putting one screw in. I'll put it up to the right height on this side. Put one screw in and it'll act as a pivot, and then I can screw that side in, and then I'll put another screw back down here. With these rocks, it's going to be hard to get a stake in here somewhere. But this is very flexy now, but we'll figure it out. where we are on level. Gotta come up. Right there's level. It's actually even with the other board, so that's good too. So get this in here. By the way, I'm screwing, everything goes from the inside to the outside because you want your screws sticking out this way because this will be covered with cement. Then when I take all the forms off, I can take it all apart with the screws and back them out. But I just think the screws sticking out into concrete would make that harder to get out. Might not, but that's what I'm thinking. So that's why I screw them in from that side. And we're even. So I'll get a couple more screws in here. That one is flexing. Just gonna set my 8-foot level on here. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was flexing a little. A little low. We actually got to come up just a hair. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same to this side. So I'm just going to set this board. It's laying here, right across here. Set my level on it, make sure it's level, and then take my pencil and just make my lines, and then go cut that. All right, guys, there you got it. It's level. Level this way, and then took the 2-foot level and put it on there. We're level. So I'm just going to screw it up a little bit more, a couple more screws, and then try to get some stakes in there somewhere to hold it sideways because it is jiggly. Because it's actually uh, when I cleaned everything out, I thought I had to go lower than I had to. So, but it's good. I like it. Um, it's level and it comes off of that step perfect. So now I just have, it looks to me, eyeballing it, like there's just a hump right here that I got to take care of this afternoon. Then I can gravel this, rebar this, and this will be done. So this whole 48 feet, I still got to gravel and do rebar in the 2 corners. So I'm going to break for lunch and get back to it then. All right. All right, guys, this afternoon, just more of the same, just working my way down. Although there is one change. When I got this far down, a new step was formed. So when I took my transit and started leveling it, it just made sense to put a step in there. And then I'm just going actually down to the barn right now to find some wood to block that all in for another bulkhead. And I think we're almost done then. A couple more hours today. I'm going to add some gravel and hopefully rebar. Alright guys, a few days later, had to work, once again some rain, but everything, I was just up here for 3 hours this morning, Sunday morning. Tuesday concrete goes in, and I am all set. There's a little fine tuning. I'm gonna come up here tomorrow, I'm off, level things. It's supposed to be cooler this week, so it's going to turn to starting today, but it's warm now, sunny and warm, but everything looks good. I got one more pier just to fine tune, but all the rebar's in, gravel's in, everything's level as of the other day, and I'll check that again tomorrow and probably even Tuesday morning. So we'll just keep going. I don't want that thing all of a sudden somehow coming out of level, so I'm just stopping work right now. I'm gonna head back and get ready for work. So yeah, everything's coming together on this. I want to show the cement going in, and that'll end the video. So that'll be Tuesday, and I should be able to have a video out on Wednesday or Thursday, so most likely Thursday. So, and then we'll take a week or so to let that all harden, even though they say you can lay brick the next day, but I still need to get some cap blocks. I got to get some vents here, and I think that was it that I need to get. But I did talk to the block guy. He's either going to come up this week or I'll call him back if he hasn't already. I told him he knows where I live and stuff, so he'll come up here, check it out, make sure everything's good. I'm going to then do a count too once the cement is done of how many bricks we are really going to need, and hopefully we have enough. and I don't have to run for that because that Fiat, my little red car, is not the best car for bringing bricks up here. It has done it before, but it can only hold about 20 at a time, so we'll see. Not on those cap blocks anyways, that's 20 of those, and they're lighter than a regular cinder block. These are them right here, actually. Right there, so those will go over the whole wall once the wall's level and even all the way around, because cinder blocks have those two holes in it, and that'll cap it, and then we can drill concrete anchors into there, send those in, and then our sill plate, which is the beginning of framing a house, will go on there. It's a pressure treated board that'll go over this whole thing and transition to the wooden structure. So that's why we need those cap blocks. So we're gonna do that. Morning, guys. Everything is 100% done, and the concrete guys came, and the truck could not get up the driveway far enough. So a little bad news, disappointing for us. Actually, part of the reason was I think they did it before daylight. They were here, and he couldn't see very well. As you can see, he actually went off our road on the side here and almost got stuck. Was able to get out of that part, but then coming over up pretty much to where the Fiat gets to, he could not get up past that. So luckily this kind of concrete truck mixes on site, so he wasn't mixed yet, so he just went back, didn't charge us anything. But I gotta fix this part of the road, and so he can get up here and get this concrete poured. I'm gonna try to do that today, between today and tomorrow. He'd also like a couple of trees removed so that he can get in here a little bit easier. So I'm gonna try to do that too. And I believe the two trees he's talking about. So this is where the stones where he can't get through. It's definitely a sinkhole right here. So I'm gonna try to. It's pretty deep and rutted. And remember, this is as far as the Fiat got, and I had to put those cap blocks right there. So, and this is the very beginning. See, there's the beginning of the road. So we got to get him up at least another 200 feet before the concrete guy says he can get it down there with his bucket and make it worthwhile for him. So I think the two trees he's talking about is this one right here and this one. The truck is almost 30 feet long, so I can see backing up around this curve here, that tree being a problem right there. And then as he gets closer, this one too. So I think he'd be much better off getting a straight shot then up here. If I remove the tree, I don't necessarily have to remove this stump. It's more about the bucket on his truck, on a cement truck, getting too close to this tree right here. So that's why I want to get that out of the way for him and stuff. So my first thing is going to be getting this whole, it's about 20 feet of gravel section here raked out. I'm going to bring the wheelbarrow down here and try to do this myself. Glenn offered to come by with his skid steer, but I'm going to try it myself first instead of getting him involved in this. He's busy himself. So we'll try to get this done, taken care of today. Right, guys, a couple hours of work. Uh, so there was all kinds of ruts here, and I could see where the cement truck got stuck. So I smoothed that out, took out wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow full of gravel that was way too thick in here. And I think that's what was partially bogging them down. And then decided I'm going to take that tree out because then I think he can come straight up here and I'll gravel in this area right here. So he can come in, turn, come up here and right to here, make that turn back up and so on. So this is definitely the sticking point. It has been. So let's just see. I'm going to take the Fiat up here right now and just see what happens. All right, guys, I was able to get the Fiat just about to the top of the last hill where the house site is. And I wasn't even worried about getting it up there, but just conked out on me and um, but I was within about 3 feet. But anyways, I got through that sticking point. I'm going to work on it a little bit more. It does slide, but my tires are low profile tires on here and the tread is pretty slick. You know, there's no traction type tread. This car is not made for gravel roads and especially going uphill, but I was able to make it. So that gives me a lot of confidence that we can do this. Um, I'm going to take this one tree out. I'll show that in a little bit, but I'm going to stop eat lunch. But I feel good where I'm at right now about the Fiat getting up here and that we can get a truck and this Georgia bucket up here. All right, guys. End of a long day. Didn't do a lot of filming, but it was just grooming this road, taking out some divots. Right behind me is pretty much the worst part. It was actually about 18 inches deep of gravel. Took a couple of wheelbarrows full out, groomed the rest back into this pile behind me, and took out that tree back there to widen this turn so the cement truck could make a better, easier turn. I think it looks good. I've been up and down it with the Fiat 4 times, backwards twice and frontwards twice, just to make sure. So I think we're good. I even did down at the end there, kind of the apron of the driveway, as they say, where it turns down the road, and smooth that out a little bit more. So I can't see why he wouldn't be able to get up here during the daytime now. So that's what I'm going to call the video too. I'm going to stop it here and I'll put this video out. I was hoping to end it with the concrete pour, but I'm not sure. I haven't heard back from the concrete guy when that will be. So I want to get a video out. I got enough footage, but I'll start the next video hopefully with the pour. And then the cinder blocks I'm not doing, so I'll do a video on that. I'll be able to do a nice video on both of those going in, and that would make a nice video, I think. So I'll leave it at here. Everything looks good. I feel a lot better than when I got up here this morning. You could clearly see divots behind me where the cement truck just was getting barreled down into that heavy gravel. These trucks weigh tons and tons, and you got to have it just right for them to keep backing up here. And I feel good about up front here. That's been all weighted down. That looks like an old gravel road, actually. It's got tire tracks and it's pretty pushed down. So I think if he can get around this curve right here, I think we're gonna look good. So give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and hopefully the house will start going upwards and onwards. See ya.